Diary of a Psychopath. Challenge in the Dark for Commissioner Caterina Ruggeri by Stefano Vignaroli. Italian edition, copyright 2022, Oltremondo Editore. Editorial series, Underworld. English edition, copyright 2023, TekTime. Translation by Simona Casascia. Narrated by Shweta, Rana. Published by TekTime. All rights of reproduction and translation are reserved. This book is a work of fiction. References to actual people, places, or events are to be considered purely coincidental and unintentional. Ideas and concepts expressed in this volume constitute the author's personal opinion and are not necessarily those of the publisher and contributors. Stefano Vignaroli's Diary of a Psychopath. Challenge in the Dark for Commissioner Caterina Ruggeri. To my wife Paola and to my children Diego and Deborah. There are 100 ways to die, 100 ways to die, 100 ways, 100 ways, 100 ways to die. There are 100 ways to die, 100 ways to die, 100 ways, 100 ways, 100 ways to die. The first way to die is when you iron your clothes and clothespins get tangled in the threads. Maybe you reach out to grab a sweater, the clothesline comes off and you fall off the balcony. That's why I don't iron. Sometimes I don't even wash. If there's water and electricity electrocuting me from the cable. You risk death from the day you are born. That's why every moment you leave is decisive. The risks are around, especially in the city. I run you over at the streetcar stop. Today it's hot. I take a shower. I cool off. Then I slip on the marble. I fall and hit my head. I had a party with fireworks. I lost control. The building exploded. And the one next door too. You see, the dead in the yard. You were passing with the booster and exploded from the seat. Translation from Italian Fabri Fibra. Italian rapper. Introduction. I have always been partial to psychological thrillers. Getting inside the killer's mind, explore its darkest recesses, and understanding what drove a seemingly normal person to carry out brutal murders is something that fascinates and excites me. And this is precisely the central theme of Vignaroli's new novel. What happens when the person who commits some atrocity is an individual most of us would call decent? We are so used to thinking of murderers as borderline personalities with a violent and traumatic past that the opposite seems almost unacceptable. Instead, the worst characteristic of evil is that it is meandering everywhere. How would you act if, for example, the possibility existed that a murderer was part of your family? That's what happens to Commissioner Caterina Ruggeri, the novel's protagonist, when she finds herself investigating the deaths of two charged women inside a burning car. This, combined with a creepy diary, the journal of a psychopath, found next to the car, makes the book both exciting and dark. But Stefano Vignaroli's novels also possess another extraordinary characteristic. Reading them, one has the impression of moving through the alleys of the small towns of Marche described by the author. I feel like saying that The Diary of a Psychopath is one of those detective stories that leaves a strange taste in your mouth, makes you think and teaches. Because after reading this book, you will understand that a criminal mind can grow even among decent people, and that the most unmentionable perversions can arise without apparent trauma. The human mind is a dark and unexplored burrow, and Stefano Vignaroli's thriller is proof of that. By Filippo Munaro. Prologue. Before entering the house, Eleonora, cigarette lit in her mouth, took the mail from the mailbox. It was the early afternoon
Sample complete. Ready to continue?